What if I did? What if I said? What if I looked around at everything with love? What if I heard? What if I gave? What if my hand reached out to everything with love? What if I'm a beacon of that light that shines in all of us? And what if I'm the only guide some will see? Then I must recognize within His Spirit, and it's only love. And I must be what I've come here to be. And I know the first step begins within me. What if I felt perfectly whole? What if my heart opened to everything with love? What if I knew only the truth? What if my mind accepted everything with love? What if I'm a beacon of that light that shines in all of us? And what if I'm the only guide some will see? Then I must recognize within the Spirit, and it's only love. And I must be what I've come here to be. Yes, we're gonna be what we've come here to be. Oh, Mother, Father, Spirit, guide us from above. Our sons and daughters look to us to show them love. Come, sisters, brothers, let's hold hands and sing as one, that we will be what we've come here to be. Yes, we're gonna be what we've come here to be. What if I'm a beacon of that light that shines in all of us? And what if I'm the only guide some will see? Then I must recognize within the Spirit, and it's only love. And I must be what I've come here to be. Yes, we're gonna be what we've come here to be. What if I did? What if I said? What if I looked around at everything with love? Love. What if I did? What if I said? What if I looked around at everything with love? What if I did? What if I said? What if I looked around at everything with love? What if I heard? What if I gave? What if my hand reached out to everything with love? What if I'm a beacon of that light that shines in all of us? And what if I'm the only guide some will see? Then I must recognize within His Spirit, and it's only love. And I must be what I've come here to be. And I know the first step begins within
Begin Within Ministries proudly presents Sofa Sundays with your hosts, Reverend Dr. Michelle Izuku and Reverend Jeannie Soverns. Sundays at 11:11 a.m. Arizona time and rebroadcasts on Mondays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Come join us on the sofa every Sunday morning. Sofa Sundays with Michelle and Jeannie. Learn more at www.beginwithinministries.com. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.
There we go. We have sound now.
Do we? Let's see. Yep, you are right.
Aha.
Okay.
Well, good morning. I am Reverend Dr. Michelle Izuku, and I am, hopefully you can hear me, I am super excited to announce this morning that sitting right next to me is the one, the only, Reverend Dr. Jeannie Soverns. Woo! She has just killed it.
I did.
She
Finished
her doctorate.
Did
Oh my
you see
gosh.
it out there? We're missing our other microphone. We don't know where it
That's
went,
okay.
but I'm
You're
pretty
loud
loud.
enough.
I'm pretty loud here.
But the amazing thing is every time I ask, like, when do you think you'll, how is that going? Oh, I don't know.
It'll be a couple years.
A couple years. I was like, what?
I didn't think I'd get it done this year.
But you did it.
But I did it.
Flying
Yes.
colors. Like the
Yes.
response to your dissertation and your final paper. I'm just
So-
very excited.
So to tell you, like with Emerson, it's usually pass or fail.
Right.
There's no like grade. However, all of mine say A+ on them because they know me. And I need that validation. No, I mean, it was just so exciting. I had finished my written test. It was my first one, and awesomeness. And then I did my dissertation, and then that came back with some formatting issues that I had to correct, and then got that back like a week later. And then she's like, all right, so let's set up your panels. And I'm like, okay, I'm available tomorrow, let's get it done. And so I did that yesterday, and it was both Reverend Sherry and the other Reverend Sherry Sorbo, and then a Reverend John that's a CSL minister in Colorado that I haven't met. So it was amazing. They had all seen the video and read my paper, and then had questions and suggestions of how I can take it further in community.
To the next level.
Yeah.
So it's not the end of it.
No.
It's not the end of the work she's done.
That was probably like the first question. Did I feel like this was a done deal? So for those who don't know, what I did was write a play called Holy Ship, The Circle. And it is a story about my consciousness studies and being diagnosed with cancer. And it was a circle of 7 of us, and the 6 other women that were with me played parts or archetypes that you deal with when you're going through trauma, drama, whatever. And it was an amazing experience because everybody embodied their part so wonderfully. And like,
Well, you picked them, so it's like
Yeah.
you wrote them for the.
it does feel that way. It does seem that way, but I really sent it out to
Yeah.
a group of people, and I had a total of 7 people respond, and by the time the 7th person responded, we had already had our 6 in line. But it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was absolutely amazing, and everybody that's watched it said, "Did you write it for these people?" I said, "No, these people just embodied it so well."
I don't know. Priscilla was me.
Yeah,
That's how I would
so
show
good.
up. That's totally how I would show up
That is so good.
if something like that were to happen. So it just, yeah, it was funny to
Yeah.
write it or to read through
read
it. Be like,
And I let them know I had given it out, but we never had any rehearsal or run through. And they said, "My gosh, it was like a final read through seeing it." And I was like, "Yeah, it was."
an
Pretty
amazing
amazing.
experience, and everybody had their own personal experience, which is what I think you were going for, to kind
Yes.
of see what would happen. And so your theory,
That was my
Was
thesis.
realized?
But yes.
and each person wound up kind of going through that process. It was very powerful. It was an amazing experience.
Yeah. So that's what we're looking to bring forward.
Is
Is that
another iteration?
yes, and to other churches and experiences. So I
Yeah,
can't
we're
wait to do it
excited.
again. And
So
we're looking to do it the end of this year live here
Live.
in Phoenix. So yeah,
We might I think we'll let them know.
we'll probably let them know. Yes,
Yeah,
as
our
we get
partners will know
closer.
first.
Yeah.
Broadway worthy.
We'll add some music.
I
we'll-
will. Yeah, right.
Song and
I am
dance.
trying to get Amy Steinberg to write us a
There it
song
is.
for it. So yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Be a musical to be on Broadway.
Yeah. That's true. You never know.
Anywho,
Anywho,
would you like to praise it,
I
Reverend
would.
Doctor?
I would, Reverend Doctor.
Let's see if it's, her prayers are already quite amazing. Let's just see if there's any more spice in
Ah,
it today.
yes.
A plus, I'm sure. Here we go.
And as Dr. Sherry said yesterday, all good new thought prayers begin with the same syllable. Knowing and affirming that this one life, this one breath, this one consciousness, this one heartbeat, this one divine idea, divine mind, consciousness, field of infinite possibilities that is me, that is each and every person within the sound of my voice and beyond. Knowing that this divine consciousness operates and flows and envelops and embodies the one true love of life, beauty, consciousness, joy, peace. And with this, I speak my word as law, knowing that it is done, that this time together is blessed, that this divine consciousness group of people that are listening here, now, and further are blessed, and that as we are available, what we need, we receive. I know this to be the truth in this moment, here, and with every teacher and leader of all faiths everywhere, of all cities, states, and countries. And I send blessings out to the people in Berlin today, knowing and affirming that each and every person that was affected by yesterday's shooting is blessed, is guided, guarded, and protected. And those that lost their life, that their families are held in love. That when these senseless things happen, that we come together in faith and in love to surround those affected. And that this day is not only that we mourn the loss, but we celebrate the lives of those who live openly and authentically as their true divine selves. And I say thank you. Thank you for this time together. Thank you for this experience. Thank you for the love that is here, that is always present. Thank you, God. Thank you, life. Thank you, universe. And I let it go, and I call it good. And together we say, and so it is.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah. Maybe a little extra spice.
Yeah, a little
very
extra.
heartfelt. Very,
Yes.
a lot going on in our world.
In the world, yes.
Always sending out lots of love and
And that brings us to our topic of the choices shaping our life for freedom and joy. And I think of the Pride celebration throughout the world. Here in the United States, it's generally celebrated at the end of June in celebration and memory of the Stonewall riots in 1969 in New York. And throughout the world, it has taken off as a celebration of the LGBT community. And yesterday, right after the big march, in case you haven't heard, right after the big march, a white van came through Berlin and was shooting, and there were a dozen or so people critically injured, and one woman lost her life. And so just knowing that our brothers and sisters in the world are experiencing that really just hit my heart this morning. And I thought about, the gratitude that I have that even though these hateful things still happen, that living our authentic lives is still so important, regardless of who or how you identify in this world, whether it's a religious freedom or a racial freedom or just it's human freedoms to be exactly who we were divinely created to be. And the fact that other people can take such a negative stance on who you are as a human just is so crazy to me. It really is. It's just so crazy to me because our choices shape a life of freedom and joy. That is what we're all here for, right? That's what our subject is today. That these choices, and I understand that people make different choices to shape their lives that are not of freedom and joy, and I get that. And that is, there's the part of free will, right? Here's the thing, right? Here's the good news. It's all up to you. Here's the bad news. It's all up to you, right? Like we are responsible for our experience in this world. So sometimes things happen in our world that we don't want, that I would not want that. However, now is our reaction time. That is our choice, right? I didn't choose for that to happen in Berlin, but my choice, again, on where I go with that pain or that experience and where the people that go from there, do you fight hate with hate or do you fight hate with love? Do you come at something with that choice? And that's, whether large or small, that is our choice today, right? We get to decide.
Exactly. And I love the large or small because sometimes we're not over there, right? I'm not over there to stop the van. I'm not over there to console anybody or pray for anybody or hold vigil. We're not over there to do that. So it feels like we can't do anything. There's nothing I can do about it. And that's not ever the case because we are all one. We are all one. If I do something over here, it's going to affect every other thing, person, everything.
Right.
It just ripples through. You may never see the result of the thing you do in this human form, but it does create that ripple effect. So even the smallest thing that you do, which the smallest thing would be in my head is like, when I was a young person, I wouldn't kill an ant. I wouldn't kill something. There was a bug in our house last night, and I put a cup over it, and then my husband's like, "What did you put a cup over it?" And I said, "Well, I can't kill anything." He's like, "Oh no, I don't want to kill it. You know, I need to put the paper thing in the cup," which I totally forgot you could do. I just thought, okay, the cup's on, and now what do I do? Because I don't want to do. I don't know what to do now. But he lifted up, put it outside. I said, "Oh, I'm so grateful I'm married to a man that doesn't just feel like he's just got to stomp around on everything." You know, he put it out and it ran. And he said, "Well, even the bug wants its life.
Yeah.
Even the bug wants to go out and do whatever it does. Even if it doesn't have our consciousness, it still has its own thing. Why would I?" And I said, "But I love that. I love that."
Yeah.
To me, that's a small gesture, yes, in our little front yard. But the ripple effect, in my mind, is huge because he could have chose violence. He could have just stomped on it and whatever, and maybe no one else would have known unless I talked about it on here. But the universe knows, the consciousness knows every time we make them move like that. And even though you might think, "Oh, I don't like bugs, I'm going to kill that bug," that's fine. But that is not going to lead you to freedom and joy. That feeling, that negativity, it doesn't match. It doesn't align. So if I'm saying these are just affirmations, this is not a truth until I decide to embody it.
Exactly.
So it's a nice affirmation. My choices shape a life of freedom and joy. Yeah, I love it. I will, yes. But every choice I make, I have to make sure it aligns. I have to feel the energy of that. What's my energy I'm putting out? Does it really align with freedom and joy? Because it might not be freedom and joy right this second today as a result of it, but am I aligning with it? That freedom and joy I say I want to experiencing the life I want, am I aligning with it so that I'm on that path to it? Or am I, afraid and don't like how someone else is behaving and I decide to go and attack them and be hateful or be angry on the internet? Is that going to align with the freedom and joy that I'm trying to create in my life? If I'm the designer, which we are, but if I am the designer of my world, what color am I painting my world? Like I could paint it green, I could paint it blue, I could paint it whatever color I want. It's my choice, but which color choice is going to make me feel calm and serene and happy and relaxed and feel like I'm free, and which one is going to make me feel agitated and angry and frustrated and miserable?
Right.
And like I just want to get out of it. What's the issue is the choice.
And
Over
what
and over
choice
the
are you
choice.
making?
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I've got what's our theme? It's inner authority, the power of choice. It's a power that we have to wield our power around. It's the choice.
And you know what Ernest says?
I love that man.
Right.
He always
Ernest
has
says,
an answer.
So I don't know why, but I picked up this thing called You this morning.
You know
And because the universe said. And so I'm like, okay, let's see what's in this thing called You that I can share today, according to the topic. So chapter 1, first sentence.
Page 1.
Page 1.
Page 1.
You, like all others, are seeking the joy of living.
Yes.
First sentence. You wish to be needed, to be loved, to be included in the great drama of life. This urge is in every individual.
Mm-hmm.
It is in everything. The rose exists to express beauty. Root and branch conspire with nature to give birth to blossom. An artist will starve in his garret that he may chisel an angelic form from a slab of marble, compelling the unyielding substance to accept his breath of creation. Not only human beings, but everything in nature is endowed with this creative urge. When moisture is precipitated, the desert receives it with gladness. Yes, we do.
Yes.
And breaks forth into song of creation. Making the most of its brief season, it blossoms in joy, storing within its bosom the seed of a future flowering. It is impossible to escape this creative urge. Everything must find fulfillment or perish. I mean, he is a little wordy.
Damn it at the end.
Yeah.
Damn it.
It's, it is totally about this, life of freedom and joy. This is about the creation that we participate in. And, yesterday when it rained, we had a brief, in my neck of the woods here, we had a brief shower that was amazing. But I went outside and it dropped 20 degrees. You guys didn't have it in the west.
The wind was wild. The wind was wild.
Wind and no, we actually got rain. Yeah. So it was awesome for a few minutes to me. And
a few minutes.
Yeah, a few minutes. I was outside. It was cold. It was great. Cold. It was like 90 something, but it had been 120. So or 117.
And that's cold to us. So
yeah. So yeah, it was pretty amazing having that. And I think about when it says how grateful the desert is for that rain. And there are so many times that I feel like a desert in need of rain. I gotta tell you, there are times I feel that way, like that things are, and I know you do too, right? I know you guys do too, right? Like when things aren't moving along the way we hope they would.
Think they should.
We have this, and I was talking about this the other day, it is so awesome when the universe does what I expect it to do. When my bank account is filled, when all my bills are paid, when good things are happening and stuff, but when the universe does not cooperate in the way that I would like, man, that is when I could use a good rain. I could use a good rain, and I have learned over the years, especially the last 6 years, I would say 6-7 years, that my steadiness in what I believe is what creates my experience. And so, and I kind of shared this with the panel yesterday. Prior to cancer in 2019, I was assigned to my practitioner. I loved praying for people and I would have stayed that path, as a practitioner. And I refer to it as my mystical, magical, mystic time period, And then cancer came, and I was like, excuse me, universe? You say what now? No, I do everything right. I pray, I meditate, I'm of service. I served on a board. I'm a good girl. Why? And I really had a very, very hard time accepting that was my life path at that point. So much so that I, prior to going into ministerial school, which is how it finally went, prior to that, I had a lot of, I'm out. This doesn't work. Don't believe it. Dark night of the soul doesn't even begin to describe the pain that I felt in the betrayal. That's how I felt. I felt so betrayed by the universal consciousness that I believed in. I thought if I did the right things, then right things would happen. And I'm not saying that's not the case. I'm just saying sometimes what we consider the right things may be different than, what is ultimately for your highest and best. And we don't always know. And I don't ever want to say that some disease is for your highest and best. I am never going to say that. For me, it did turn out to be for my highest and best. It did lead me to ministerial school, which then, over the last 6 years has become where I am today. My faith is at that level that I can say I believe everything is working out for my highest and best, regardless of what it looks like. I can say that today. I could not always say that, and that doesn't mean I'm not going to have an emotional response.
Right.
Hey, I was given emotions as well.
Right.
And they happen.
Right.
So that's,
Well, you're in a human experience, so you're going to have those. You're going to have those
Oh, yeah,
feelings
right,
about
they're a part of it.
everything, and then that's how you use them to navigate them. Use them to figure out where am I supposed to be going now? You know, and what you read, where it said an artist will starve in the garret, and he made chisel an angelic form from a son of marble. And I always think of the writer that goes to a cabin and locks themselves in for a month to write a book so as to not be disturbed, or because when I'm creating things I write and stuff, like anytime someone comes and talks to me, I'm like, oh, I have to like pull out of that and get, yes, okay, all right, let me help you, and then I have to come back, and then it takes then you got to get back in. It just, so I can understand like just stopping everything else and just diving in because of the desire to create that thing, that desire to just, yeah, I love, so that's what I think of the writer in the cabin, and just you just can't escape that what you are.
right.
You are a creator and a designer. And I used to think I'm co-creating with God. No, I am God creating through me. It's a very different stance when you really start to understand the difference of that. It's very, very different. So your choices and the way that you choose to look at the things that come your way do shape the path that you might find yourself on. And those are infinite. Multiple paths. It never ends.
Exactly.
So every little tweak that you do, you know, which is why emotions are so important, because they're like your compass.
Right, they
Oh,
say,
I'm
oh,
heading
where
this
am
way,
I
I'm
going?
heading- Yes.
Yeah. If this doesn't bring me joy, then what is it that will? And I look at that, and that they really are like roadmaps. Like my feelings are roadmaps. I don't like this. Okay, well, why don't I like this? What is it that's coming up for me? You know, do I not like something because I haven't given it enough attention? Or do I not like something because it really isn't mine? Like, you know, and I think about those things. Like right now we're looking for to manifest a new car. Not quite sure what kind or how or what, but that's what we're
You're
looking
supposed
at.
to get specific.
Well, we're not, and we're looking. We'll be driving, and we'll look at colors. And Dakota likes very icky colors, in my opinion. She likes dark and that, and of course she thinks I want something that's not going to have us arrested, because I'm looking at orange and pink and yellow. So yes, it will be very interesting. There is a blue that we both can stand. So, you know,
Who's driving this car?
well, we both will be. So like that's the thing, you know. It's like, yeah, and so, but it's that kind of thing. So, you know, where you know, talking about being specific, it's like, yeah, well, I don't know yet. We're still on the menu part of it.
Oh.
We're still on the menu part. Like, what do we want? So I kind of know what I want. I want a 2020 and newer. I want it under 50,000 miles. I want it to be gas, you know, efficient, for the best of its ability. And I want it to be a color that I enjoy before I get in. So we'll see what that turns out to be. I'll let you know. We don't know yet.
Interesting. You should start posting different ones.
Yeah,
on this.
so, you know, that's what we're looking at. But I think that that's the kind of thing that brings me joy, right? And when I think about different things that bring me joy, like we watch houses on YouTube as well in the morning sometimes, you know, and we'll watch like, be like, ooh, we saw a gorgeous one today. And it was like, ooh, I like that. And I feel like those are the kind of things that help me know what brings me joy versus just showing up and accepting whatever shows up, you know. And I lived prior to 2019 when all these things happened. I really did live my life as, okay, I'm just going to accept whatever shows up. and not have a choice in the matter. And I think a lot of times we make choices by default, right?
Right. Yeah, totally by default.
Yeah.
Totally by default.
And I don't want to be a default chooser anymore.
No, gosh. I want to live intentionally.
Yeah, I want
On
exactly.
purpose, not by default.
Yeah,
Just flopping around.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
Let's
just
see
do
what happens.
whatever.
I don't know.
Yeah, you know. And I mean, I'm not saying that that didn't work for me because it worked for a long time. But I think now I have a better idea of what I want out of life. And I think that was part of why I was defaulting things. It's like I didn't know what I wanted,
Mm,
right? And if you don't know what you want, then you will accept whatever shows up.
yeah, for sure. I mean, if I could live this life as Michelle 4 or 5 times, then I might go, okay, this time just whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, just throw me whatever. Let's see the combination that
Mhm.
can be created.
Oh
but,
my goodness. Yeah.
But no, if I got this one shot at Michelle, I want to navigate that. I want to, try. I can change my choices.
And you can change your mind.
But I
for
want
sure.
to try that out. For example, what about things like that don't bring you joy? That you say to yourself, don't bring me joy. You might argue on this one because,
Probably. I'm feeling spunky today. Go ahead.
for example, doing dishes
Mhm.
bring you joy? No,
It doesn't bring me this joy.
no,
It's kind of neutral for me.
doesn't bring me joy. But it's a chore that my children do in the house. So I don't usually do the dishes because I have so much else that I do that it's like I'm not doing that. Like they need to do that because I have so many other things that I have to do. If I do that too, like I'm never going to get any of my other stuff done that I'd like to do. So when they go to their dad's for the weekend though, yesterday I was thinking to myself, but I get joy when that sink is clear.
I was gonna say that's my joy. Yeah, I like a clear sink.
Yeah. So what are your choices may not be that initial, but does it take you on the path, right? So sometimes it's not the obvious choice.
Right.
Where you go, oh yeah, if I, do this and I'm gonna always be like, well, no, but if I do the dishes, which I don't like to do, what's the next level? Like look beyond the moment,
Right.
right?
I absolutely will agree with that. And that was kind of so yesterday. My appointment for my panel was at 2:00, and I had originally was going to go to an event prior, and that's why I said, "Oh, I'm available after 2." And then I thought about it. I was like, I really need some time, some alone time and not be all, whatever. And so my alone time was spent cleaning my office, which I shared with 4 cats. So it gets a little messy. I'm just saying, they do not clean
How
up
did she
after
hook that up?
themselves.
That sounds
Yeah.
pretty nice, actually.
Yeah, they do not clean up after themselves. And so I have, right? I mean, I have this bookcase that gets, dusty, right? And I have rocks and knickknacks and all, besides books. I have all this stuff on there. And as soon as you move one, you can tell because So I took everything off and I cleaned it off. And so I just went through this office and I was cleaning everything and it just, now, did I enjoy that part? Not really. Not really. But did I enjoy it when it was done? Yes. And sitting there with my panel and knowing that my room was clean and, smelled good and yes, so that end result of where I was, and I threw my music on and I was in my little workout gear and, I was doing things that made me feel joyful because of the end result of it. So
Very
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's, I think,
That was a good choice.
That's what I think what this really means is my choices shape a life of freedom and joy. So what are your choices? Where are they leading you?
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing things, I just think we need to be more intentional and pay more attention and think about that. And yesterday when I launched a business for my husband yesterday with him. And so all week I've been trying to meet deadlines. And so I was definitely the writer in the cabin. I didn't take a shower, I didn't do it, like,
That was
I
it, yeah.
wasn't cleaning anything, I didn't touch a single thing because I was loving it. Like, it's not that I'm like, oh man, I've gotta do another whatever. I love it. It's like such a desire for me to just like create all these, and then, once I start, like I get more ideas and more ideas. And then I'm like, ooh, I could throw a batch of those in there, and then I'll add some more of these, and I'm just like going crazy. And then, but yesterday, so I launched it, and as soon as you do that, now I'm tired.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
and my husband's like, are you gonna do your hair or anything today? Like, are you gonna?
Babe.
And I go, what is that supposed to mean? He's
Good.
like,
Yeah.
no. He's like, no. I just.
No, you're fine.
I'm sure. I mean, I look scary. But no, so actually I had a ponytail on top of my head is what it was. I got up with my hair and a ponytail on my head. So that's like a good time. Poor thing. I said, hey, I just created a whole thing. Yeah. He goes, oh no, I'm not saying I appreciate that. I'm like, yeah, this is what it takes. I can't stop to just do all these things I feel like because it takes that time for me. And on top of that, I'm so anxious to get to it. Like I want to be in there just creating. But then when it was over and I was tired, there's laundry, now there's things to do, right? And I said to myself,
So? And I knew it was me because I heard my voice.
I heard my voice. I love that. It's so funny. But I said, in my mind, which is funny because I didn't look at the topic for today until this morning, but I thought that was funny. But when I said that to myself, I thought, you know what? You could get up and do the dishes, and then it will feel so good when this kitchen is how you like it. Because even when the kids do it, they don't do it all the way. They don't do it how I would do it, but you could really do it how you would like it. And then it would feel so good. And when you make dinner in here tonight, it's going to feel good. I remember thinking to myself, that's what I need to focus on. I don't feel like doing any of this.
Right.
I am tired. Like but my mind could fun, but that's okay. What's it going to feel like when it's done? But let's focus there. I was thinking that way, and it got me motivated to go do it.
Sure.
And once you start, you know how it is. Once you start doing the cleaning, doesn't it just, it keeps, like, all of a sudden now you're like a clean freak, and you're like,
because then I went to my kitchen after the room.
Yeah. But I know you use it when you're upset too, like when you're in a frustration mood, you get in there and you clean stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
It's
it
really
makes you feel better.
It's really a feeling operator cleaning. I clean for multiple reasons.
Yeah. But yeah, so my kitchen got clean and I enjoyed making dinner last night, and I recognized it multiple times how nice it was to make dinner in a kitchen that I cleaned, because it's how I like it, right? And I didn't have to go in there to make dinner and clean, like, which is no offense to my kids, they just don't clean how I do. So if I want to make dinner, I have to do some things before I can make dinner. But last night when it was time to make dinner, I had already done all that. So the beauty of I gotta get up and make dinner, which I got sometimes have to get motivated for, then to go in and go, oh, look at this nice kitchen, and oh, look at my pan is clean, and look at, and it was just the whole experience. And I recognized that's because you got up earlier and you made a choice. I made a choice to do that, and that was my benefit. I had joy in that moment. I enjoyed my cooking and doing all that stuff last night because I made a choice that aligned with that. So this card to me is an affirmation, but I think it really speaks to awareness and intention, and how you can look at every part of your life. And when you're making decisions, if you could just give yourself a moment to ask, what does that align with? Where is that going to take me, that choice? So if I said, no, I'm not going to jump and go take a nap, and if I just followed that without thinking, that happens a lot too.
Sure.
And then I'm in the kitchen and I'm frustrated now because now I got to make dinner. My husband's coming home and I got to clean this stuff. And now I'm not in that same mood when he comes home. I'm not in a lovely, relaxed state. I'm of this, you know? And I may never have even understood that that's because I made that choice earlier to not set myself up for joy. So it's having this awareness, having this understanding. So if this is a card or an affirmation you choose to keep present, that's what it should remind you of, is like, let's have a little bit of attention and intention around the choices that we're making, and what's going to be the actual end result, not so much what's happening right this second.
So I got another one for you from chapter 2. Chapter 2, page 7. You desire peace of mind and happiness, success, health, radiant living. How could you desire these things unless they already exist as possibilities? Is there not an echo within you,
as though it came from some invisible source, a deep feeling, an intuitive something. You cannot quite put it into words, yet there it is, definite as your life. I loved that. When I was like, that is exactly. So right here at the bottom of page 7, you desire peace of mind. So I was like, well, absolutely. That is what I'm looking for. That is how I'm looking. So when you were talking about, making choices that might not necessarily be the first aspect of my peace of mind, happiness, success, health, radiant living, but it does bring me there. Yeah. And then, let's see, page 9.
So we have 2 different books.
We
So
do.
I have to.
Okay, so now I'm like, but you are an individual.
Got it.
Okay. But you are an individual, like all other individuals, gradually awakening to greater possibility. If life made you out of itself, which it most certainly did, and if you are an individual just a little different from all other individuals who ever lived, then life not only created you as independent being, it also implanted a unique something within you. It will never be duplicated. The spirit that accompanies you through your life is just a little different from the spirit of any other person. Not different in that it is isolated, because all are rooted in one being, but different in that it is individual. So that leads me to one more thing, and that was James Mellon's 5 questions.
Oh, I love James Mellon. He did a
And
talk on this. It was so good.
yeah, James wrote this book, The 5 Questions, after the death of his daughter. And it just is an amazing book. So if you've not read it, I highly recommend it. But question number 5 is, do I know how great I am? And that's why I wanted to read Ernest first, because Ernest talks about how we are individuations of the same divine substance. We are individuations of God. And this, in the 5 questions, when James talks about, do I know how great I am? He says, if I see myself as less than, I attract less than ideal situations for me to experience. And even if something comes along that is great, I'll inevitably see or create a faulty situation surrounding this greatness and turn it into what I'm comfortable with. So when he talks about the, do I know how great I am? He says that, a lot of times what we'll experience in life isn't the universe giving us less or even us attracting less. It's what we're comfortable with. And you hear people all the time talk about lottery winners who then lose everything because their consciousness wasn't up to having that. In the Science of Mind text, Ernest Holmes talks about going to the ocean and what are you getting the water with? Are you getting it with a thimble? Are you getting it with a bucket? Or you got a 5-gallon? What are you willing to accept? And I think that is also part of my choices shaping my life of freedom and joy. That upper limit, that, there are many different words or phrases for the same thing, where we have this ceiling of what we're willing to accept, what we think is available to us, right? People say, I want to be a millionaire. But do you? Can you? Or can you accept 200,000, right? Like, what is it that really seems possible for you? Because that is the level of acceptance that we have, right? So I just wanted to bring that up with the choices that we're accepting in our lives, because I think one of the things that kept me at, mysterious, mystical, I'm willing to pray, but I'm not willing to move forward through hard times, was that I did not have a center of worth that was possible to move there. And what cancer and the heart attack and the bowel obstruction, because I had to get the most for my deductible that year, you know, what all that did for me was really question inside of me, question my ability to stretch and expand and to know greater awareness of divine consciousness, which I had not been willing or even aware of prior to all that happening in my life. And you know, one of the other things that comes up for me with that is, while I've had all these different physical things go on in my life, especially over the last 7 years, I am an awesome healer. I heal very well. You know, I mean, that is something that, you know, so if you're going to have, you know, issues, I guess healing well is a good other side of the coin for me. So yeah, that's kind of where I was landing on the freedom and joy.
Well, I'm grateful that you're such an amazing healer,
Me
my
too.
friend. Great gratitude. That's what you are. You know, you know how great you are. I think we hear that. We can hear that. But I don't know that a lot of us walk around all the time going, "Well, I'm great." You know, I'm pretty great, because we put a kind of a negative connotation on that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't be telling people how great you are.
Yeah.
Don't walk up to somebody and go, "Did you know I'm really great? I'm so great."
I'm so good.
Yeah, because then like you're full of yourself. Yeah, actually I am. I'm very full of myself. You know, it's like a negative trait out in the world to define what we are, or to acknowledge our truth. And that to me is something to be definitely intentionally reminded of as often as possible. Our greatness and your greatness, and your greatness.
Exactly.
Right? We're all full of that greatness. And to every time Marianne Williamson heard that, I guess it's called a prayer, or not a prayer, poem that she,
Right.
from her, that our ability to do that, to recognize our greatness and to shine our light, allows other people to go, oh, and allows them to do it too. But to hold it back for fear that we'll make them feel bad, or for fear that, like, then everybody's just holding it back.
Right.
Everybody's just keeping it
Until
back.
we forget.
Yeah, and then that's what happens.
Yeah, we
just
hold it
keep
back, we
doing
hold
that.
it in, and then we forget.
Right.
And that is why it's so
crazy.
uncomfortable when somebody says, "Do you know how great you are?
Mhm.
Do you know how great you are?"
Do you know?
And we go, "No,
Oh no, it's okay. Oh, thank you.
Oh.
Oh, shucks. You know
This
what I'm
whole
like,
thing.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like being a performer, you know, a singer over the years, and most of my life when I was young, I don't even know who told it to me or why I did, but most of us know what it feels like to be nervous, right? You're going to get up and do a talk, or you're going to get up and sing for me, or you're going to get up and do something, and everybody's watching now, and you feel really nervous. And sometimes nerves are crippling. They can make the voice wiggle, they can make you forget to breathe, which is not good for a singer.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
good for anybody
No,
to forget
it's
to breathe.
not-
Please, everybody breathe.
Exactly.
Yes.
And it can cause you to act funny and fidgeting, and so that you just don't show up as that the way that you kind of hoped you would, right? And then so the next time you're even more nervous because this nervous thing is happening. And it was probably I don't know, probably 5 or 6 years ago that I had an epiphany moment. Probably taking some great class at CLF or something, but I had a moment where I recognized that, wait a minute, who decided being nervous was a negative thing?
Right.
Somebody told me I was just being nervous, or I'm nervous, or whatever it is, and I took it as a bad thing. What if it's not that at all? What if it's that our greatness is getting ready to show up and show out, and we hold it back all the time, that it feels really uncomfortable, it feels really weird and uncomfortable, and it makes our voice do weird things, and it makes us like, what if it's just that? And I had that moment of recognition, like, wow. And I think it was a week or two later, I had to sing at CLF or something, which I loved doing, but I was always nervous. So then I always like kind of was really cautious in what I was doing because I was afraid I wouldn't breathe right. So I memorized my songs a certain way to breathe here or there. So, you know, I'm always thinking, I wasn't able just to enjoy my greatness. And that time I thought to myself, what if it's just my greatness? What if I stop trying to stop it and control it? And what if I just let it be? Leave it alone. Recognize that it's my big self coming out that I don't let out to play as much as I should. And that was a completely different performance. That was completely different. So I would venture to say that just like so many things in this world, they label, and we hide and keep it back. And I challenge you to question yourself on those things. Anything that holds back that greatness, the truth of who and whose you are, I challenge you in those moments when you feel those feelings, go, where is that coming from? What if that's not a negative thing? What if that's my inside getting ready to rock the house? What if it's that? And even when we did our big concert, so it shifted something for me. So not that I'm not nervous, but it's not a negative thing for me anymore.
Right.
It doesn't make me hold back. I allow it. I let it come through, and you won't explode. I mean, it feels sometimes like you're just gonna blow up if I let all these feelings come out, because they're big. They feel really big and like they're gonna take over. And you know what? It's not taking over. So you're just allowing. That's the truth of you. That's all of you coming through. It's like all of it coming through. Just this. You know, if you have that big breath. And you just let it go through a little tiny hole. It's like, it feels intense. It's hard. That's what you're doing. All of the universe is going to come through and sing that song right now, or come through and give that big talk in front of all those people. And all that energy is coming back at you, and you're pushing out your energy. What's that? Is it going to have you're not going to feel anything? It makes sense that you would feel so much. So it's like, there's so many things that we do, so many choices that we make that we have these labels on it and these limits on it. And I say, let it go. Let yourself go. Allow to be your greatness, to remember your greatness.
Love it.
Remember your truth. And check yourself. Where am I being my truth? And when am I holding it back?
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
Do you have anything? You guys got anything today? She got to hold the puppy earlier, so she's like, I'm just fine.
We have a puppy here today.
We have a puppy
We have a little
present.
Inky.
Oh, you've got him on your neck.
Yeah, look at, he's asleep.
Oh, it's a babies.
He's so cute. Yeah, so cute. I posted a picture of him earlier.
Our new baby love,
He's
little Inky.
He's so adorable.
He is
I love it.
adorable, yes.
Yeah.
And I think Ozzy's start getting more and more comfortable. It is Ozzy's actual biological son, but they don't recognize that. But this morning he seemed to almost play a little bit. So maybe it's happening.
Maybe.
Usually the puppy comes up to him and he's like, oh no, and he runs. He literally runs off in the other direction as fast as he can.
Oh
It's
my
like, what is
goodness,
that?
Ozzy.
That is not nice. But anyway, I digress. No, but it's just, you know, these are challenges that I see in myself. And
Absolutely,
if I'm
yeah.
having them, then I know a lot of us are, because we reflect each other. We're all having the same things to overcome and grow from, you know?
I've really enjoyed this month's topic with freedom. I really have. That's been, you know, the inner authority, power of choice. But, you know, just being July and that kind of thing. And one of the things that I was thinking about, since we just had like midterm votes throughout the country and stuff, that is something we vote on every day what we're going to choose. So, you know, choose for your life, for your freedom, for your joy, and see how that works out. Ooh.
Oh, I know.
Next
I like
month
next
is
month's
good.
theme, the prosperous soul. Let's say yes. We will say yes to that, won't we?
Yes, we will
I
say
know.
yes to that. I
Oh.
love that.
It's a good.
All right, so you're gonna
Yeah.
let me just throw that anywhere. All right.
What was that choice about?
Yeah, that was, I don't know.
Hey,
Yeah.
I don't know. I watched you brought the bowl.
That was
That is so good. Let's start with that deep breath. We love that. Oh my goodness. I feel that vibration of the chime as I recognize the one power and presence, the divine energy that moves in as and through everything, expressing as love, as joy, as connection, as peace. It is one. It is the one thing. It is the only thing. And that love, that joy, that peace moves in as and through each one of us. It is what we are. It is all that we are. We express uniquely, individually, yet we are the one. And from that truth, I speak my word for everyone here present, everyone out there in the world that will hear my voice or not. I speak it for the highest and best. I speak it for the elevation, the allowing of our truth. As we allow ourselves to be aware, to be intentional, to be the designer we are meant to be, we create into our personal experience that freedom, that joy we desire. And it's so easy for us when we recognize our greatness, when we recognize our truth, when we sit in that, when we ground ourselves in that. With every choice, we question, where does this lead me? And we align with love, and we align with our truth and freedom and joy in the choice. And I'm grateful for this talk today. I'm grateful for the awarenesses and the ideas and the understanding that has come through. I know that each one of us receives what is ours to receive and takes it with us into our own creation. And so I let it go, know and trust that it's been done in the mind of God. And together we say, and so it is.
Thank you. So one thing before we go, our international guest had a birthday yesterday.
Yes, she did.
So it's today. Oh, so your
Well, but
birthday's
there
today.
it was yesterday, probably.
Yeah.
Yes. We're
Yeah,
we're
I was
doing
like,
the international
okay.
version for you.
Yeah,
so
there
she
we
gets
go.
two or very
Right.
long, very long
There you
birthday.
go. Because I had it on. That's why I had
That's
it on
why
for
it's
yesterday. So
international.
it's today.
She
So there you go.
came with us to celebrate
Her birthday.
Oh, I feel
So,
very special
happy
now.
birthday,
Happy
Chris.
birthday, Chris. We're so happy that you're here. Thanks for making us an international
Yes,
sensation.
we
We
so
appreciate you.
We so appreciate that. So
Me
awesome.
too.
So I just wanted to make
Yes.
sure that we acknowledge
Yeah.
that here on the sofa, because she watches us. She doesn't get up at 3 a.m. to watch us or anything.
That's
but
okay.
She'll watch us
We
later.
understand.
She watches us later. So,
But she visits us in person.
But she does visit us in
I mean,
person.
she does check in with her sister too, but
Yes.
I know she's here for us.
Yes.
It makes me feel very special.
Exactly. So we love that.
We do.
And if you'd like to be part of us internationally or not, please like and subscribe if you're watching us here on YouTube or Instagram. And if you would like to join us on our Facebook group, now the Facebook has a thing called forums, so you can find us on forums as well under Sofa Sundays. And also you can go to beginwithinministries.com and see us there, or you can come visit us in person even at 7220.
We would love it.
We would love that. 7220 North 16th Street, Building A1. Girls are on the door in Phoenix, Arizona, 85020. So there's lots of ways to visit us. And if you would like to give financially, again, beginwithinministries.com, and you can make a one-time donation or join us as a Spiritual Church Club partner. And with a partner, you get the mug shot, you get the mugs, and you get other items like our journal and our cards and our classes for free. So we would love to have you for that. That's $45 a month for a single and $75 for couples or families. So did I?
You got everything. I think you got
I
everything.
think I got everything.
So we'd love to have you, and share us with others too. Let them know that we're here broadcasting live every Sunday. We replay it on Monday on the New Thought and Media Network.
Or you can find us on YouTube anytime.
We can. But we're here for you, and we'd love for you to become part of our community and help keep us going and growing. So
Going and growing.
going and growing.
Thanks. See you next time.
Have a happy week.
Thanks for watching. Tune in again next week at 11:11 a.m. Pacific Time, or Monday evening at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.